Welcome back to Going for Two with Jack Taylor. My name is Jack Taylor.
My name's Hunter too.
And of course, this is Going for Two with Jack Taylor. We are coming to you after a second weekend of baseball. Is that right? Sorry. Second weekend of baseball.
We're going into our third weekend.
Okay, going into our third weekend. It feels like we've been in the season for 2 months now because it's kind of seemed like it's dragging on, kind of miserable. We won the series last weekend, and we're going to talk more about that. But, it's just we have not played any impressive baseball. We'll get into all that and more. Hunter, what do we have in store?
So going to talk about that. Going to talk about the Grambling game, Southern Miss game. We're going to move into the Tulane game, touch a little bit on the Texas Tech game. There's some big games going along in college baseball, so we're going to touch on a few of them. Maybe they're all being played in the same stadium. And then we're going to give our series predictions, and then you know what time it is. It's our favorite topic every single week. Yeah.
And we actually posted the prompt for questions at a low point in Mississippi State athletics. We had just lost to Southern Miss, and we just had an overtime loss to a top 5 team in basketball as well. I just hit my desk.
Nice.
So we were pretty sad. We could tell that some of y'all were sad too by the responses that we got. So some of them aren't questions, which, as we learned last week, they have to be questions. But we'll probably still answer some of the non-questions.
Yeah, some of them.
Yeah. Football Ben, be careful. So we're excited to get to those. Obviously, that's going to be at the end. So before we get into any of that, actually, I'm going to start this episode off with a movie critique, like I'm going to try to every week from now on. So this one, I've been watching the Spider-Man movies recently, and I watched the original Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire in it. So there's a scene where he becomes a wrestler, right, before he ever becomes Spider-Man, and he's guaranteed $3,000 if he wins this cage match. Instead of getting $3,000 though, he just gets $100, and he leaves the office after getting gypped, and this man comes in and robs the guy that just gypped Spider-Man. And so Spider-Man has a chance to stop this guy from getting on an elevator, right?
Yeah.
And he doesn't stop him because he's mad that he just lost out on $3,000. And so the guy gets on the elevator, gets away with the money, and then kills Uncle Ben. And my critique is that Peter Parker should have just stopped the robber, because, I mean, probably would have gotten some money for like stopping this robber, and his Uncle Ben would still be alive. So in hindsight, you probably just stop the robber, and that goes for all of us. Like, if we're ever in a situation like that, just stop the robber.
Just do the right thing.
Just do the right thing, and your
sportsmanship.
Uncle Ben won't die.
Pass it on.
Peter knew, like, if I let this guy go, I'm gonna let this grudge kill my Uncle Ben, and he let it happen anyway. So he's just selfish.
What if we would have lost the game against Auburn because Iverson Molinar? So Auburn throws the ball out of bounds, and then they call it Mississippi State basketball with like 5 seconds left.
Yeah. And
then Iverson Molinar goes up to Ben Howland and says, "I touched the ball, coach." And then walks over and tells the ref, and then the ref just believes him and changes the call of the game, and then we lose.
Yeah, I mean, that's the sportsmanship that I expect from my team. Like, I wouldn't cheer for a team that doesn't do that. I would refuse.
Can we count that commercial as a movie, and you just do a full critique of it one day?
Yeah, it's coming soon.
Okay, awesome. Soon. I cannot wait. Can we get a bye week or something? And we just
But in other words, like long story short though, with my movie critique for this week, Peter Parker's just selfish. Like, if he knew Uncle Ben was going to die because of that, and he let it happen anyway. So,
put me in that position. I'm not letting Uncle Ben die.
I'm stopping the robber, first of all. And then butterfly effect. I mean, you can say what you want anyway. I think Uncle Ben's still alive to this day.
I don't think Thanos snaps.
Different universe, bro.
No, it's okay.
Anyway, all right, let's get
Spoiler alert. Still haven't watched that movie.
Whoa. You haven't?
No, I don't know why, bro.
Connor.
I'm sorry.
Come on,
It's I've been doing a lot. I haven't been
spoiled it.
doing anything.
You just spoiled a movie that you haven't seen? Okay.
Yeah, basically.
Anyway. All right, so now we're getting into baseball from this past weekend. After all that, so this weekend we played last weekend we played the Northern Kentucky Norse, and they are not a good team. They got swept by Eastern Tennessee State last weekend and got outscored very, very lopsided on the weekend, and so they come into this series and they do the only logical thing, and they just hit after hit after hit on Landon Sims, and they're sitting fastball the whole game. That seems to be the only pitch Landon could find the zone with. His slider wasn't working. He wasn't going with a changeup, and so they were just sitting fastball because that's all they had to do, and they were hitting it left and right. I mean, they were just smoking the ball. So they win the series, or they win that game because we just weren't hitting the ball, and Landon wasn't effective. And so that was a very, very frustrating game.
We lost to a guy that has an over 100 ERA.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty bad. So, I mean, terrible start to this series. And, we're starting to think, maybe maybe we should hit the panic button. Maybe, I don't know what's going on. The championship hangover is lasting more than just one weekend. But thank goodness we come back, we win the series, and tell us about just some things that stuck out to you in that series.
So in game 2, it just seemed like it was a decisive win. Like we didn't play great the entire game, but like we had production at least, like consistent. Yeah. I think Brad had a good day on Saturday.
Yeah, I think it was his first home run.
Yeah, he has two hits in that game, 3 RBI. Yeah, that seems right. Yeah, Brad had a really good day. Cameron James, Luke Hancock, Logan Tanner, all with multiple hits. And like that's what we've been wanting, is the guys from last year's team to produce.
Hey, Kellum.
Jeez, that's rough.
Lane, come on.
Lane's doing as expected.
Yeah, he's on pace to soar past last year's production.
Jeez.
Yeah. All right. What else? What did you see?
Preston was our starter in this game. He went 6.1 innings, which is actually 6 1/3.
Yeah.
I hate how this works.
Mathematically incorrect.
I hate baseball critique. I think you've done that before. So 6 1/3 inning, 2 hits, 1 run, 2 walks. Got in a bit of trouble, was it in the second or third inning? And then he kind of fought his way out of it. And I thought that was really big. And then he went on to have a really good outing.
Yeah, and keep in mind, I mean, got to take this with a grain of salt because it was, again, against the Northern Kentucky Norse. So
I don't know. They have the most hits of any team in Starkville this year.
Yeah, you're right. Jeez. I mean, yeah, come SEC play, I'm not sure if Preston is our answer for the weekend rotation, but he is good. I mean, he's effective, and I've always liked Preston. I mean, he's been good in any role that we've put him in so far. I'd still probably prefer him in the out of the bullpen.
I want someone that trusts in the bullpen.
Yeah, and he is someone that I trust. So I mean, I'd rather have him coming out of the bullpen, kind of the same way I want Landon coming out of the bullpen.
Yeah. Another thing before we go a little bit farther into this, on Saturday, Pico Khan came in relief of Preston. 2 2/3 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, 3 strikeouts. Yeah,
it looks really good. Yeah, I mean, again, it's against Northern Kentucky, but I mean, he's a young guy who he did it against Arkansas Pine Bluff as well,
and he's a lefty, something that we drastically need.
Yeah, so hopefully, I mean, he's a young guy getting a lot of experience right now, and hopefully that's just going to pay off come SEC play because we really need him, and he seems to be a good fit. Also, I think Sunday, Game 3, Cade Smith, really, really good start. and we'll say it again. It's probably the last time, but it was against Northern Kentucky. But again,
yes.
he's a young guy. And he was looking good. He looked good against Long Beach State. He looked good this past weekend. And what did he go, 5 innings?
5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 0 earned runs.
Okay, well, good. And then Brandon Smith comes in relief, and then I think we see Brooks Auger and Mikey Tepper close out that game.
Yeah.
So three arms out of the bullpen also in that game. I thought Brandon Smith looked pretty good, and then Mikey Tepper and Brooks Auger just didn't really look very sharp. So that was pretty weird.
Yeah. It was really nice to see Brandon Smith kind of back. It's been since, was it 19 that he was like fully healthy and everything? Because it seemed like last year he got at least an amount worse by the end of the season. Like at the beginning of the season, we're like, yeah, we trust Brandon Smith, and by the end, we're like, oh no, Brandon Smith is coming in.
Yeah, it's almost a weird thing. It's like, he's just gonna come in and throw strikes, and like obviously you don't want a pitcher coming in and like just walking batters.
Like, but bad things happen to him.
Yeah, like, I mean it's like unfortunate stuff.
Like pass balls and stuff. Like stuff that just doesn't happen to anyone else.
Yeah, I mean I feel like I don't know. Who was our guy last year that was like a ground ball specialist? That
was
Chase
Brandon
Patrick?
Brandon. Yeah, Brandon and Chase Patrick. Yeah, he came in and went like a third inning, and well, I guess 2/3 inning if you want to double play. So
yeah, just a ground ball specialist. I mean, he's gonna pitch to contact, and a lot of times that can come back to bite you. But Brandon looked good, and
Brandon came in with clean base paths, and was good. It seems like a lot of times we bring him in with less than 2 outs and a runner in scoring position, and then you go out there with your sinker ball pitcher. I mean, if my math is not failing me, that almost equates to a run if you're pitching to contact. So
most of the time.
Yeah, like it's just weird.
Yeah, so I know we mentioned Landon coming out of the bullpen a little bit earlier. Obviously, he started on Friday, but what do you think the future should be for Landon? If you were Foxhall right now, what would you do?
It's gonna be weird because this Tulane series, like, I'm not sure how much we can judge off of that, and then it's gonna, like, you almost have to wait until SEC play.
Yeah.
Because like you can't like swap him now, because like he'll probably go pitch well against Tulane. Like, I assume it's not going to be 42 degrees in New Orleans. So
just because he's on the mound, I think we have a really, really good chance to win on Friday.
But I feel like him being on the mound on Friday nights takes away one of my biggest comfort blankets of knowing if it's a close game, we can put someone in there and stop it.
Yeah.
And look, at least give me a chance on offense.
Yeah. Look, I know that ultimately the reason that he has become a starter is because Lamonis and Foxhall think he is the best pitcher, and he is. And so you want your best pitcher to go for you on Friday night. I understand that completely.
Explain Christian McLeod.
Okay. No, he was the best to start the year last year. That's like a 4-time SEC pitcher of the week. You're
all on away games.
Yeah. So Landon is our best pitcher, and so I understand them wanting him to go on Friday nights. But I think that no matter what, this experiment is not going to be a failure, because for either he's going to stay the starter and be a really good one, or we're going to kind of push his limits and understand that he probably can go multiple times in a weekend.
Yeah.
And so like he can go. I mean, maybe he might not go the equivalent of 6 innings, combined throughout the weekend. But I mean,
he did it multiple times last year.
He can go through. He can go 3 or 4 innings. Pitching the 9th inning or the 8th inning of 3 games in a weekend, and having that security come in once our offense gets rolling and we can actually have a lead late in the game. That's going to be so valuable. And
a lot of this, I think. I'm sorry for talking over you. This is weird.
No, you're good.
I think with our pitching, at least, it could be because our offense is in a weird state right now.
Yeah. I mean, none of our pitchers are getting the opportunity to pitch with leads at all. And so it's like they're having to just like aim their pitches and try to be perfect and not just throw. Because last year, I mean, I know we had some close games, but I mean, our midweeks were great chances for for pitchers, young pitchers, just come in there in like a 15-0 game,
Yeah.
and just pitch. And now they're playing 2-1 games against Grambling and having to grind out everything and losing to Southern Miss.
Everything's high stress. Everything's I mean, in the 2 wins against Northern Kentucky, I didn't feel extremely comfortable in either.
No, I mean, one of them was like
10-1. 10-1 I felt like okay, but like game 3 at the end, I wasn't feeling fantastic.
No, I mean like 7-2. But I don't know. It really boils down to our offense because I think, like just like you said, I mean I think pitching is gonna go where the offense takes us, and so I'm not really worried about the pitching. We're going to talk about kind of a couple breakout pitchers that we saw in the midweeks, but anything else from the Northern Kentucky series that you saw?
One thing I'd like to have a little fun on. So the people out there say, "Oh, the offense isn't good. It was cold." Like, no, the offense wasn't good because it was cold. I mean, Northern Kentucky was barreling Landon Sims.
Yeah.
Like, any of those excuses aren't real.
Yeah. I mean, I really don't know the excuse. It's just like we're behind on pitches that are like 85 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Against Grambling, we're behind on pitches that are 78 miles an hour. I don't know if it's just like bad scouting reports against these teams right now or what's going on, but I'm gonna once again say I'm not hitting the panic button. I'm trusting experience to come around on this, but it doesn't look good right now. So
yeah, doesn't feel good either.
And talking about experience, I'm gonna mention a guy who has none. Aaron Downs. He had his first start on Sunday against Northern Kentucky. He started also against Grambling and against Southern Miss, I believe. So he's the new right fielder, number 5, the best right fielder that's number 5 that we've ever had.
Yeah, people are starting to say this.
Yeah, so 2 hits against Northern Kentucky, 2 hits against Grambling. I don't really know what he did against Southern Miss because I couldn't watch the game on TV. But yeah, I mean he seems to be good. He's a true freshman guy out of Heritage Academy, and seems to be really good. But we'll see. His bat looks good right now. So let's move on to the Grambling game. Not really too much to say here. Again, our offense was really, really bad. That's the game we were struggling to catch up to 78 miles an hour. And I get that it's an adjustment, but after one time through the order, you should be able to.
The adjustment should be made.
Yeah,
it really makes me feel like me with absolutely zero pitching experience could get an out against someone. If I just throw it in the zone. Mm-hmm. Like, they're not going to hit BP on me.
Don't walk the guy.
Don't hit him. And you may get an out. Doesn't matter how many runs I give up, but can I record an out on a D1 baseball
team? The law of averages says that sometime you'll.
I mean, they're not like if they're tanking me every time, put me I'll pitch for the home run derby.
Yeah, for real. I mean, you're gonna have a job either way. So, all right. So starting for us in this game, we had Jack Walker. What you know what year he is? Is he a freshman?
Everyone's years aren't real this year. We're still
I'd never heard of this guy before today.
Freshman.
Freshman.
Do I know if that's real freshman, COVID real?
Is he actually an academic senior?
Is he actually getting
his master's?
Dude, that's wild. I don't know why it affected baseball worse than anything.
Yeah, that was weird. So Jack Walker gets the start. I think he goes 5 innings, I believe.
Look at that real quick.
Yeah,
5 innings.
You're the stat guy. So he went 5 innings. Parker Stinnett comes in out of the pen and gets into trouble immediately. I think the first 2 guys that see him get base hits, he faces second and third in his first inning of relief, and then after that he just goes on a tear and
Thank you, Foxhall.
Yeah, one little meeting with Foxhall and Parker Stinnett became a new man. And so anytime he comes in the game, I still think about the home run against Texas that he gave up.
That
And
wasn't real. It was raining.
it was raining, so it doesn't count. But
LeMickey home
yeah.
run.
So I still think that that's still my thought process when I see the Parker come in. I'm like, oh gosh, here.
At least
comes
the
again.
hair's gone now.
Yeah. So it's a little reverse Samson action going on, because now he's good again apparently. So he did finish out the game. He has the last 4 innings against Grambling and just looked really strong. He was getting a lot of strikeouts and seemed to just be really trusting his stuff. I think sometimes, I had this pointed out to me the other day, he kind of seems like he forgets that he can throw mid-90s, and he just starts throwing sliders and change-ups and going mid to high 80s, and I'm like, dude, just throw your fastball.
He did have that off-speed pitch that he was throwing on 2 strike counts late in the game. Oh my goodness!
It's the little slider just dropping off the table.
Little bender. Oh, dude,
yeah,
that was nice.
So, I mean, with all the confidence that he had at the end of that game, I really, really hope that he can carry that on the rest of the season, because honestly, he was one of the big names coming into the season as a potential closer, and I can see it pitching the way that he was the other day.
Yeah,
but
good closer song too.
Yeah, wait, what is his?
Rest for the wicked.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a good one.
So our offense, like I said, is really just stagnant right now. Brad Cumbas seems to be the only person who's really awake offensively. He had another home run. I think it's 3 straight games. Or it was 3 straight games before he didn't get one against Southern Miss. So he had a home run that ended up being the game-winning.
Who do you think scored the run before him? Or got the RBI on it?
Lane Forsythe.
Lane Forsythe, sack fly. Let's go.
Who did that? Did it say who that scored? Either Corder or Hines, I think.
I think it was Slade Alford. Yeah, it was Slade. I think.
Okay, gotcha. There you
go.
Oh.
The nose downs. You're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that only leaves us with the Southern Miss series, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't watch it because I couldn't.
Thank you,
because they didn't
NCAA.
televise it. Yeah. So all I know, Jackson Fristow started, and it seemed to be a bad start from the beginning. Our offense still not good, and I can honestly, for the first time in 2 years, say we have lost a midweek game. We never, ever win games like this, though. We lost a midweek for the first time since Texas Southern in the shortened 2020 season, a season where we were 12-4 before the season got cut short, and people are comparing this year to that. So I hope we can rattle off 7 straight wins here. But
quick question: how long has Gabe Montenegro been at USM?
I think since I was 7.
Dude, it's Kellen Mond energy.
I've heard that name for a very long time.
He's been there since 18.
Jeez.
We graduated high school in 2018.
So he swept Mississippi State one time. Yeah. All right. There you go. Hunter, why don't you get us started on our preview for the Tulane series?
Okay, so Tulane Green Wave, little team down there in New Orleans. Yeah, they're 8-1 on the season. They had a really impressive series win against Louisiana Tech. Lost a Friday night game. Everyone was like, "Oh yeah, this one's over." And then the Saturday game got canceled for weather. Oh yeah, this is in Ruston, by the way. And
yeah,
that stadium. I forgot what is it. The Love Shack? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, like extremely wild there. So like hostile environment. Louisiana Tech, really good team. You know, I mean, I think they hosted a regional last year.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. And Tulane goes in there. They play the doubleheader on Sunday, and they sweep it. Their Friday night starter, I'm just going to go a little out of order. If no one knows, we have a script for these. A little inside going for 2 here. I'm going to point number 3 of point number 4. So that's just a little bit of that.
Giving away our secrets.
Yeah, no one knows this. Their starters versus Louisiana Tech were their Friday starter was Tyler Hoffman. He's a right-hand pitcher with a 3.86 ERA. And then their Saturday starter was their game 2 starter was a familiar face, Dylan Carmouche from last year at Mississippi State. National champion Dylan Carmouche, going to be the first player to win a national championship with 2 teams.
Mm-hmm.
He has a .69, so a .69 ERA.
It's really nice.
Yeah, it'll be nice to see him. I mean, he's a left-hander with a nice fastball. Just a nice player all over.
Yeah, I've heard reports. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
So
and with a nice ERA of .69.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Takashi.
That's it. So Carmouche probably come out, and he's a left-handed pitcher, but he does throw over 79. So
maybe we can tank him.
Maybe be on worry watch, Tulane. And then their game 3 starter was Michael Massey. He's a right-handed pitcher, 5.79 ERA, and they kind of have a plethora of relievers. No one seems to have really secured their spot yet.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've got our work cut out for us. I mean, it's a good team. It's a really good pitching staff, starters to relievers. I mean, they're really good, and we know from last year. We're going to talk about their offense in a minute, but the antics from the last year's series against them was unbelievable. I mean, they were. It was such a fun series, one that I really looked back at last year and said that probably made us a tough team.
Yeah. I love that series. I loved Tulane after that game. There was a lot of people that are like, oh, this is Bush League from Tulane. But, when we go act like that against Vanderbilt, no one says anything.
Yeah. I mean, I think the jawing started happening because, Holtoff, was just dealing against us, and Lamonis asked for, foreign substance check on him, and he looks at us, gives a thumbs up, and then just flexes off the mound. And from then on, it was just jawing back and forth, and walk-offs for us in the next 2 games. A crazy 9th inning in game 3, and just unbelievable energy.
Was that the first Dogs win again?
That's actually where it started. Yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah. So I mean, honestly, that series gave us our identity going in the whole season, going into
it was a very
Omaha, the national championship.
It was kind of like our season, honestly.
It felt like a super regional, that.
Mm-hmm.
That's
and there was no fans there, but it was weird, the competition of it. And last year we thought Tulane was going to be a really, really good team, and they kind of just weren't. I think they went through a bunch of injuries and stuff, but I mean, they look honestly they look really good this year.
And anybody who complains about the Vanderbilt or about the Tulane series, and how they acted in our stadium, we went to Vanderbilt and did the same exact thing.
Yeah, rocked the baby. Said
kisses to the dugout.
Yeah, said some explicit words.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun, and it's fun when teams do that. I get not wanting to be over the top, whatever. Still
but
respect
they weren't
the
over
game,
the top. I mean, all they do is slap the wall.
Still respect the game, but honestly, that was such a fun series, and I'm hoping that it's pretty similar this year. Maybe we can.
I think we went and followed Olthoff on the going for 2 account after it, because we're like, okay, that's awesome. If you get called out for foreign substance, and then that doesn't mess up your groove, and you go finish it,
yeah. I mean, it was awesome, and that was kind of the first antics that we saw from Logan Tanner as well. I mean, he's sitting over there, just being Logan Tanner, rocking the baby and everything. So. I'm really excited, like I said, again for this series. But before we get done with this talk, what do you have about their offense?
Okay. So they have 4 everyday players batting over 300, with the 2 highest of them batting. First one, 419, is Ethan Groff. I think he's their catcher, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Everyone has dashes and then another position, and I really don't care enough to go look at their other schedules because they pinch hit so much that it's like 12 players every time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's just nauseating. And then their second highest is batting 355. It's Luis Aviles, I think, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll go with that one. I'm going to look real quick and see if anyone has home runs. They have 5 home runs on the season with... Oh, wait, that's their pitching. They've given up 5 home runs. I was like, well, that seems low. Okay, they've hit 6. Cool.
Okay, so the Dogs are out home running them by about 6.
So, yeah, that's their 2 guys. I think Luis is an outfielder. It says outfielder / infielder, so I'm going to go with the president of the first one being right. So, yeah, that's what we got.
That's essentially just saying he can play anywhere.
I bet when we see their lineup, we'll know what position they play.
Probably, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he'll be in their lineup. Probably batting 355, he should be.
Mm-hmm.
Last thing about the Tulane series, though, moving on from that, will be Tulane's uniforms for this weekend. So they came out with a release that they're wearing black uniforms in an interesting video. So the black, I already, you kind of brought this up. I'm not quite sure, but
no, the black isn't the mocking. Tulane's been black uniforms apparently. That was their stuff. It looked like in like 2012, 2006 era was black uniforms in like the heyday. But then some actions occurred in the video. So when you're rolling out a black jersey against Mississippi State, and probably everyone likes to take little punches at Mississippi State. Like, yeah, they just won the Natty. They're losing right now. Yeah, I'd punch at them. Like, like you should. I mean, like we did at LSU in 2020. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Like everyone punched down at them. It was a good time. But yeah, and then like halfway through the video, whoever it is does the ice in my veins thing. I'm like, okay, not many people just throw up an ice in my veins.
Yeah, I know Will Benner invented that and everything.
Yeah, he is the inventor of it.
Yeah,
D'Angelo Russell actually stole it from Will Benner.
Yeah, people forget. So maybe a little mocking going on from Tulane. I mean, you may just be reading into it too much, but
I thought that was kind of like it's like this cinematic like it's not even like an action shots, and the dude's just sitting there like ice in my vein, like with like a bent left arm. Like it was weird. It was a weird video, but the uniforms look fire.
Uniforms look good. It's gonna be a great weekend for uniform matchups.
The hats look so good.
Yeah, so really looking forward to that, and I think that may be all that we have going into that series. But before we talk to you guys again, we're actually going to be playing another series. So we're going down to the Biloxi Shuckers Stadium, and we're playing a 2-game series with Texas Tech, just like we did in the COVID-shortened 2020 season. So we're doing that on next Tuesday and Wednesday. And in the 2020 season, we lost the midweek game to Texas Southern. We lost a series to Long Beach State. And we seemed to kind of be struggling in comparison to other years, I guess. But this is the series that we kind of like started to. We seem to be turning it around, even though we had swept Wright State, and like I think we were coming off of like 4 straight wins before this series. Anyway,
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, but we beat a Texas Tech team twice.
They were ranked top 3 or something.
Yeah, it was something like that. And Spencer Price was our closer at the time. So, like, we were firing.
Oh yeah, he was the last SEC closer of the week.
Yeah, it was really weird. Yeah, weird things were happening. And then the season gets ended, and everybody was like, "Yeah, well, like we were just heating up." And Ole Miss was like, "Well, we're the national champions." So
they won the Twitter poll national championship.
Yeah, I mean, hang a banner. Texas Tech, though, this year they're 6-2. They have 2 wins against Dallas Baptist, which is a super regional team.
Dallas Bombers.
And they have 2 losses this year. Their 2 losses are Auburn and Arizona in an opening, opening weekend tournament.
Those are 2 teams that start with A and are feline mascots.
People forget.
Forget.
Just in case y'all forgot. So I'm not sure what I need to do with that information, Henry.
I'm gonna look at their schedule and make bets on their next game against a team that starts with an A or is a feline.
Or both, hammer the money line if it's both. But anyway, so after the Tulane series and the Texas Tech midweek series, I really do think that we're going to know a lot more about our team, because I know we kind of joke about us struggling in that 2020 year, but we really weren't the same team, and we were struggling to hit the ball. But during that Texas Tech series, we seemed to finally be clicking, even if it was just for 2 games. And so, I mean, possibly the same thing happens here. Landon Sims goes out there and gets us a win on Friday, and that just sets the tone for a great weekend. We go into Biloxi facing Texas Tech. Maybe we turn it around, and hopefully, but no matter what, we will know a lot more about our team following these next 5 games. But anyway, it's going to be a huge week for us, and this is all happening before we talk to you guys again next week. So just wanted you guys to be in the know about that.
A little update on my findings of feline cats and teams that start with the letter A. They have 2 games with Abilene Christian.
The Wildcats?
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Abilene Christian just like I do it's March, baby.
It's March, baby.
Oh
yeah, we have to release the bracket once that happens. I'm assuming we're doing the bracket challenge again. That was a pretty good time. Seeing Brooks choke.
Jeez, top rope.
Still haven't forgot.
All right, so that's gonna be it for our games for this week. We are gonna do a prediction here after this, but a little bit going on in the college baseball world. So the Shriners College Classic is taking place at Minute Maid Park. It's a really, really fun series, with the exception of half the teams. So there's 6 teams showing up to Houston: Baylor, Texas, Oklahoma, Tennessee, LSU, and UCLA.
Wow, so 3 of those teams are excellent.
Yeah. So UCLA, I guess they're there for historic purposes. Oklahoma and Baylor, what are you doing?
Blake Texas, Griffin and Robert Griffin III went there.
I mean, are they related? Are they brothers or something?
I don't think so.
I could see the resemblance.
Yeah, it could be. I mean,
they half brothers.
I mean, he went to Baylor.
What does that have to do with anything?
You think he could jump over a car?
Probably. Kobe didn't. That was a fake video.
Jeez. I mean, neither did Blake Griffin. He jumped over the hood.
He jumped in front of the car, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So, I think you're probably... No, actually, big news. This whole Shriners College Classic, not on Flow Sports, so it's a win for
Is it not?
Baseball. No, it's televised nationally. I think on MLB Network.
Oh, sick. Yeah, I don't have that.
What? Why do you not have MLB
I don't think
Network?
I have it. I don't
really?
think I have it.
Well, I think MLB is we can't play MLB games because players want to be treated fairly. So I guess we have to show college baseball. I'm glad Mississippi State's not there. I think we'd be getting exposed really, really bad against any of those teams. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad
as much as we clown Oklahoma and Baylor and UCLA, yeah, I'm glad we're not playing you.
Yeah, I'm glad that we're going to be in New Orleans instead of Houston, because we'll probably be getting embarrassed in New Orleans as well. But anyway, that's going to move us into our series predictions. I'll probably go first this week, just because I made you go first the first 2, I think. I think that we are going to lose the series. I think we're going to go 1-2 with a win on Friday night, and then we're going to lose the next 2. I have to believe that Landon's going to come out firing, getting redemption. Hopefully he gets some run support. That's obviously the only way that we can win, because we saw him in week 1. He got just about a perfect start and just 0 run support. So hopefully he gets some support this week and gets a win, but I still think we lose the series. And then my player for the week, just like all the antics we talked about earlier, Logan Tanner's probably going to be the center of all that, and I think he's going to let that fuel him to a really big weekend. So if we are going to win, it's going to be on his shoulders.
Okay.
So
Makes
what you got?
sense. So, as I do when it's desperation time in seasons, it's time to break out the jinx. We are getting swept by Tulane. There's no chance that this Mississippi State team can go in here and take a series from Tulane. This team's good. I mean, they have a guy that would be starting on Saturdays for us, starting on Saturdays for them. Good team, good atmosphere, good jerseys. Tulane sweeps us. And then player of the game, I haven't been paying attention to how my players of the game have been doing. I'm pretty sure I've picked Hunter Hines every time because he has my name. So yeah. Give me Bradley Wilson, right-handed pitcher, a freshman. I think he's gonna have a good one.
I think you've got a good shot of him playing, right?
Hope not.
Well, there you go. I really do. It honestly, it all really just depends on offense. Like I have no reason to believe that we're going to go in here and be able to hit the ball.
I have no reason to believe we can do anything.
Yeah, but if we do hit the ball, then heck yeah, we can win this series.
No, we can't.
Dude, you just gotta have faith.
I want no faith. I am jinxing.
Well, I guess there's no reason to believe that we can hit the ball. Like we haven't shown the ability to do that yet this year. I hope we do though, because I want to win the series. But I'm saying that we lose the series. We're gonna go 1-2. Hunter, you say we're gonna get swept, and that's all she wrote.
We're gonna be out of the top 25.
Oh gosh,
that would be weird.
I'm not mentally prepared for that. Anyway, that's all that we have for our game previews, reviews, predictions, anything else that we do. But we do still have one segment left, and you know what it is. It is Instagram questions. Hunter, are you going to be reading those today?
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay. So once again, like we always say, if you ever have questions, you can wait and submit them when we post our prompt, or if you just are not patient at all, you can just send them to us whenever you want to, and we'll make sure to include them on the show. Actually, we don't care if you're not patient at all. That seemed harsh, but we are always excited to get those questions and read them and answer them here on the show. So I haven't looked at them yet, actually, so I'm kind of excited to see what we got. But without further ado, Hunter, what is the first question?
Okay, from person that we mentioned earlier, Brooks Taylor, 1390. Are we struggling since we had to replace so many key players, or are we young? Are those the same?
I think they might be the same.
Think they're kind of the same. Yes.
I mean, we do have a lot of young guys. We have a lot of young guys, a lot like transfers and freshmen as well. I mean, just to name a few, we have Aaron Downs, Hunter Hines, Matt Corder, Slade Alford, Von Siebert, and then we have a handful of pitchers as well. Those guys, I expect.
The young guys seem like they're doing pretty okay.
The young guys are doing fine for freshmen and transfers. It's the older guys that I'm kind of worried about.
But Luke Hancock and Cam and Lotan and Brad, I guess they're doing okay.
They're not doing bad, but it's like they're not getting timely hits. They're not starting rallies. They're not. It's like if
woohoo, we get one hit an inning.
Yeah, our leadoff guys are doing terrible, and when we get the first out, it's like we just give up on the inning. And so, I think we have two leadoff hits in an inning.
That's wild.
The entire year. So, obviously that's pretty bad. And
sources are telling me that that's not very good.
Yeah, and so we get that first out, and it's like we just lose faith for the inning, and everybody else behind them just follows and just can't do anything. So, I don't know. I'm not as worried about the young guys as I'm worried about the experienced guys. Not necessarily not hitting for good average, but just no timely hits. So that's all I got.
Okay. Next one from Brooks. Have we finally woken up? Hope so.
I think he DM'd us and said that he sent that before he saw that we lost to Southern Miss. So, but no, I don't think we were even woken up before that. But I hope that that loss, just kind of embarrassing to lose to an in-state team, even though they're not really a rival. Like it's still just embarrassing. So maybe that will wake them up, and we'll see this weekend for sure.
Okay, next one from Jess Cooley. It's not a question, but we'll read it out anyways. All this hype for Ole Miss just to get beat by State again. Rip. Yeah,
that seems to be how it goes.
These are the ways.
But
they're really, really good.
They are really good. It seems like
in no way, shape, or form should we beat them, but Dogs win again.
Yeah, we don't have a rebel killer this year. We don't have Luke Alexander. We don't have Jake Mangum. We don't have Tanner Allen. We'll see if somebody steps up to become that the next generation of that. I don't see it yet. I don't.
I guess it would be Lotan. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it'd have to be because Luke Hancock and Cam James don't seem to have like the personality to do it.
I guess Brad could.
Brad would be a good one. Yeah,
that'd be fun.
That would be
personifies Mississippi State.
That like him versus Peyton Chatagnier is like
the duality of state.
That is Mississippi State versus Ole Miss, just as much as Garrett Schrader versus John Rice Plumlee was. Like that picture is just, and Mike Leach and Lane Kiffin. I mean, it's like we see these all the time. Yeah,
I love that.
But we need somebody to step up and obviously do way more than beat Ole Miss, but just become like that, their rallying cry for our team.
Okay.
Maybe it's Landon.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows?
All right, next one is from It's Just Ryan 27. Why did I get myself into this?
What are you in?
Next question. Okay, this one's from Frederick 1851. It's not a question, but we'll read it anyways. Tough day.
Mm-hmm. It was a tough one.
I agree.
Bad sports day.
And then our next one's from Football James 17, and he says they should hire Football Kimball for basketball, and he could probably be better than Howland. Sadly, that's not a question, so we'll have to move on to the next one. Matt Waldrop says, bad day in maroon and white. I agree. I mean, even though that wasn't a question, we always read them. It really was a bad day in maroon and white. The Southern Miss game, it never felt like we had a chance, but then we go to that Auburn game, and it feels like we have every chance to do something, and then we just don't.
I'm really not sure if Matt listens to these. Matt, if you're here, thank you. But Matt has a superpower. I don't know if y'all knew this, but he can tell from the first inning of a game whether or not we're going to be good that day or not. So I'm willing to, I'm really interested to know what inning he knew that we weren't going to beat Southern Miss the other day.
He actually did that 4 hours before the game.
Yeah.
before both.
He drove to Pearl and was like, "Nah,
I'm good.
I don't
feeling bad vibes."
I'm getting bad vibes. I'm going to Bass Pro Shops. Y'all hit me up when it's over.
I'll be at the shooting gallery.
I'm going to be looking at the smokers upstairs.
Matt, if you listen to this, please DM us and tell us that you're hearing this, because this is quite funny.
Yeah, last year during the Doug Nikhazy, the Doug Day in Starkville, Matt left in the third inning, I'm pretty sure, and was like, nah, we're just not getting any hits today. And we got one. So, joke's on you, buddy.
Idiot.
I was optimistic as all get out. I was chanting.
Didn't that happen in some football game this year and we won?
I don't think so.
Did that not happen in the...
Oh, maybe Louisiana Tech. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I forgot
it's
about
very
that.
Very Matt game.
Yeah.
I love Matt.
All right. Any more questions?
There's another one that isn't a question. Yeah, I'm Jack Taylor, and I'm feeling really sad.
Yeah, so I went to the basketball game last night, and I was there. When I got there, I think we were down by like 15 or 16. We were down by 12 at the half. Storm Chasers come in. The Barstool Storm Chasers. That's always fun to see on Instagram.
Dude, they were on a 3-game streak, too.
See on Twitter, yeah. And so they come in and just really hype up the crowd. We take the lead with like 3 minutes left, or we have the lead with 3 minutes left. I don't know when we took the lead. End up going to overtime and giving up as many points in overtime as we did in the entire second half.
This is the way.
And we lose the game. So
I've watched like 6 Mississippi State basketball games, and they all end with us like having a lead and then not having the lead.
Yeah. So I mean, that's inevitable. Storm Chasers or not, it's just not in the cards for us to win a big game.
Someone should have told them.
Yeah, someone should have told them. But I think that pretty much sums up how I felt. Yeah, I'm Jack Taylor, and I'm feeling really sad. So, but anyway, I think that's all that we have for today's episode. It wasn't the ideal week for Mississippi State athletics. Basketball is just coming to a crashing halt.
Getting a new coach.
So maybe we'll know who that is in the next couple of weeks. Women's basketball ended their season tonight in the SEC tournament. I know we kept y'all updated on that for all season.
Does this mean no more questions about basketball?
I think so.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go. So we still have a big March Madness run to make. We still have to win the SEC tournament, and
we have to make a run in the NIT to give Howland another year.
Feels like 96. So that's all that we have this week. It is we're optimistic going into this upcoming week, though. We played 3 games against Tulane, 2 games against Texas Tech, and we get to focus on solely baseball until. Oh, wait. Softball season started, too, so we got to focus on that,
too. Oh, yeah.
Too,
big softball fans. Remember when we made them, like, go on a winning streak?
We made them good again. So that's all that we have. Thank you guys so much for listening. We will see you guys next time on Going for Two with Jack Taylor. Thank you. I told you I was going to one softball game. I wanted to get a foul ball, and then I was going to leave. We got a foul ball, and we left. That's all I'm saying. Man of my word.
Remember how long we used to talk in these little after things?
Dude, I can't remember the last time we just had a nice chat.
Hey, bestie, could I interest you in Rodan and Fields?
Dude,